Hey, welcome back to the Soul Pod. This is Stacy. This video is for anyone who struggles with negative feelings, or for that matter, anyone who wants to increase the joy in their lives. This video is going to be about how to build a gratitude practice. More than 2,000 years ago, Cicero, the great philosopher, said that gratitude, he considered gratitude to be the parent of all great virtues. Parent of all great virtues. The exact quote was, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtue, it is the parent of all others." So the reason I bring this up is, well, first of all, thousands of years, generations that is, of thinking have gone behind this idea that gratitude is important. I mean, if you think about the root of the Latin word, uh, gracias, grazie, all these things, thank you means gratitude. Gratitude, right, is the root of all these words. Gratitude is really important, and in Italian, which is where Rome was, and Cicero frequented apparently. the the idea of gratitude was vital. It was vital, and the reason he thought it was so important, and why it was, as he called it, the parent of all others, was that gratitude is like a root system. Like when you have gratitude in your life, it like ties you to other people in a way that no other emotion does, no other practice, no other virtue, as he put it, does. In that, when you're grateful, you carry yourself differently in the world. You those things, they reflect, and they vibrate, and they affect others around you when you are appreciative. Let's To underline this a little bit. Consider the opposite. When you're not grateful, when you're grumpy, when you're unhappy, when you're miserable, that also, those grumpy people. Maybe it was you, maybe it was a friend, but we've all seen them. Where when you're grumpy, how that also has a reflective thing that happens where people also feel your negativity. So gratitude is the flip side of that, where instead of feeling your negativity, they're feeling your happiness, your joy, your gratitude for life has a positive effect on all others. It's a beautiful virtue. So today we're going to dive into how to create a gratitude practice if you don't have one, how to support that gratitude practice, and really what a gratitude practice is and what the big benefits are. And I'll go into some science on this for you too, okay? So let's do this. So to start, I want to read you a description of this. I don't want to miss anything. I could tell you what my description of it is, my definition of it is, but I wanted to print this out. Gratitude practice involves regularly reflecting on and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, no matter how big or small, and that's important. It's about training your mind to notice what's good, whether it's a kind gesture, a beautiful sunrise, or simply having food on the table. Gratitude's about the little things. This practice counters the brain's natural negative bias, which tends to focus on problems or threats. What we're doing when we are creating a gratitude practice is we're trying to overcome millions of years of evolution, where our brain looks for the danger, looks for the bad, and identifies that as a survival practice, right? Well, we don't have to worry so much about survival anymore. So what we can do is we can actually start focusing on the flip side of that, the gratitude for what we have, instead of just simply surviving, getting by, right? But this takes work. The beautiful thing is that it's been shown again and again, and I'll share some of this research with you, that we can do this. We can reprogram our brain. We change the synapses in our brain to the neural pathways, and because we have a certain amount of elasticity that can help us actually start reflexively looking for the good. It takes a little bit of effort, but it doesn't take a ton of effort. That's the cool thing, and I'll walk you through how that goes. So you ready? So how do you start a gratitude practice? There are a couple steps, and grab a pen if you've got one. Uh, Probably good to write these things down. It's not a big deal, but there are a couple steps. You want to make sure you get them. First thing you want to do is establish a standard and consistent time and place that you're going to do your gratitude practice. And that'll make sense in a minute, because there's different ways to go about doing this. There's not just one way. This is, you must do it this way. No. I'm going to give you some options, okay? So choose a consistent time and place that you're going to be doing your gratitude practice. And we'll come around, you can do that. But write that down. Choose a method. And this is what I was talking about options. Step 2 is choosing a method. Maybe it should be the other way around. Like step 2 is choose how you want to do it. So let's talk about the different methods. There are things like journaling. So if you've listened to any of my videos, if you've watched any of these, you probably understand how much I believe the power of journaling is really huge. I used to scoff at it. I don't anymore. There's something about getting information out of us and onto paper that makes it real and tangible and makes us own it, for that matter. So you can journal. You can do listing, which is another thing where you just will sit down and write things down that matter to you in whatever way you want. Whether you write it down, there's another cool thing about listing. Listing can be done in front of the mirror when you brush your teeth. You're just brushing your teeth in the morning. Maybe that's your morning practice, and you're just in your mind saying what you're thankful for. You're not going to say it out loud because you got your mouth full of toothpaste. So you can say it out loud too, because mirror work is beautiful. But there's something about, when you're brushing your teeth, just go, oh man, yeah, today's Friday. Friday's a great day. I really like Fridays at work. Or today's payday, or today's it's a sunny day out. Oh, spring is starting. Or, if you love winter, winter's beginning. Or so-and-so is going to come visit me next week. Like I have a visit or a trip or whatever. Be thankful for something, right? So you can list. There's also an appreciation jar. That's another practice where each day you have to write down on one little slip of paper what you're grateful for that day and drop it in the jar. And it's beautiful because now you have this entire jar full of appreciations you can go through someday when you're having a bad day. I love that practice. It's beautiful. Meditation is another good one. A meditation practice. We actually sit and you do a meditation on gratitude itself, and they're great. There are great meditations out there that are actually guided meditations on a lot of these apps that are free. Insight Timer is a good one. Calm is another one. CALM. Try any of those out. Great apps. So those are the types. So now you've got the types, and you can actually look at what time of day you want to do that. Do you want to journal when you first wake up? Do you want to do it right before you go to bed? Those two are usually pretty good. Middle of the day isn't bad either if you have time in your schedule to be able to do that. But if you're going to do one of these, the jar is great in the morning. A gratitude jar, boom, beautiful. So we've got the when and the how. So you choose your how and choose your when, and then you can start making movements towards the next steps. So the next step is to just start being consistent with it. Be consistent, like each day. Cool thing is if you miss a day, it's okay. Don't be mean to yourself. Don't kick yourself. It's not like that. This isn't like reps. It's not push-ups. It is about reps kind of because it's about, getting it done. But it's not about heavy lifting, and it's not about kicking yourself if you miss a day. If you miss a day, cool. Show yourself some forgiveness, get back on it. Because it takes a while to develop a habit. And this is a cool habit. Once you develop it, it's so nice that when you don't do it, you recognize, man, I need to have more gratitude, right? So you start working on it. So let's talk about a little bit of the research around this. The cool thing, the reason that this gratitude practice is cool, one of the reasons is that there's a lot of evidence around it that shows, there's a lot of, I just did a video that talked about gratitude practice, and I mentioned there's a lot of research around it. There is a ton of research around it. It is this kind of woo-woo kind of concept of, oh yeah, I have to have a gratitude practice. And it's easy to scoff at it if you haven't tried it. But the research is there, and it tells us some really cool stuff. These are some of the benefits of a gratitude practice. A gratitude practice will boost the happy chemicals in your body, serotonin and dopamine in particular. And I'm going to read some info about that. There was a study done by Emmons and McCullough in 2003 that found participants who kept gratitude journals reported higher levels of optimism and well-being after 10 weeks of doing the practice. Okay, 10 weeks. Optimism and well-being. Would you like some more optimism and well-being in your life? I would. Who can have too much of that, right? And all they did, the only thing they did different was this journaling. In this particular one, it talks specifically about journaling. The next one will talk about journaling too. But the next one, the other benefit is it reduces stress and anxiety, right? Just this practice. 2015 study in the Journal of Alternative and Contemplative Medicine showed gratitude practices reduce stress and improve heart rate variability, a marker of relaxation. So you can actually increase your relaxation and reduce your stress by journaling gratitude. That's great. Now, we can make some assumptions that these other practices also have effects. There was, I don't know of a study that was done specifically about the jars, which is kind of cool. I love that practice. And I've found that, even though there's no science necessarily around some things, it's really easy for us to be in the moment and go, hey, this feels really good. There's something to this. And if we ignore that, well, that's on us, right? Do we have to have the science to show us that it works? I don't think we do. The third thing is that it improves physical health. Believe it or not, having a gratitude practice can improve your physical health. Like, how the heck's that work? Well, a 2016 study showed that gratitude improved cardiovascular health and reduced inflammation. Apparently, there's a link between being stressed, cortisol, inflammation, heart rate, all those things. When your cortisol levels are high, those things are bad. So then you can increase your negative health outcomes. You can also decrease it by having a gratitude practice because you're less stressed. I mean, think about it. When you're stressed out, like your heart's beating faster, like you're carrying around some, everything's bad. But when you turn that around, you go the other direction, it brings that down. So it takes you off of what could be, who knows, a dangerous health condition. So that's another great benefit to it. The fourth benefit is it enhances relationships. Having a gratitude practice enhances relationships. Look, how does that work? Well, okay. Study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2010 found that gratitude increases relationship satisfaction for both partners. Why is that? Well, probably because less stress. I mean, think about it. If you and your partner are stressed out and you're anxious and you're looking at the negative parts of life and how things are really hard, and sometimes it's hard not to do that, right? Life is life. Things happen. But when you're both working to bring that down a little bit, just be a little bit more positive, be a little bit more, and it's not just positive, it's about being grateful, right? Be grateful for those things. Like maybe you've got kids and your kids are stressing you out because it's so much work and, it costs so much to raise kids, and like all the details that, like now you can't focus just on your fun. You got to worry about, all these details. But instead you can look at that and go, look at these beautiful little human beings that we're raising. There's little ways of changing the angle you look at something to make it more positive. And when you do that as a couple, and both of you are doing it, oh my goodness, man, it's powerful stuff. And we have research to show that. Isn't that great? The other one, the final one I'll talk about, is that strangely enough, a gratitude practice builds resilience, personal resilience. And you become a bit more bulletproof. Right? It's a study in 2006 in behavioral research and therapy. It showed that gratitude reduces symptoms of PTSD in trauma survivors by promoting positive emotions. Now, they're talking about PTSD in this specific case, but that's because that was the study group. Like a study, you need a study group that's measurable. Well, PTSD, they're pretty measurable, right? So they have them do these gratitude practices and they find that actually they're becoming less stressed, less anxious. How beautiful. So let's see, we got it boosts your happy chemicals, it reduces stress and anxiety, it improves overall physical health and mental health, apparently. It enhances relationships and it builds personal resilience, having a gratitude practice. So is it worth your time? What do you think? Well, pick one, pick a method. What do you want to do? Where do you want to start? Maybe it's the jar, maybe it's the journal, maybe it's the list, maybe it's a gratitude meditation. But whatever it is, it's going to get you happier every day, less anxious. It's going to improve your health. What do you think? I mean, it literally rewires our brains to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. It leverages neuroplasticity in our brains to help us rewire, strengthen, and strengthen those neural pathways. I mean, and we can do that ourselves. It's like doing surgery on yourself by just having a regular practice. So you ready? I'm going to challenge you now to a 10-day challenge. 10-day challenge. This is just the start. This is the beginning. Take 10 days. Step one, pick a practice. What do you want? You want a journal? You want a jar? You want a list? You want to meditate? Whatever it is. Maybe it's a combination of all of them. But step two, pick a time of day. Stay consistent. Is it morning? Is it evening? Is it the middle of the day? Start doing it. Maybe you'll actually put it on a board or something where you can check off every day to keep yourself honest about it. I have an app on my phone that's a journal app that I have to write when I meditate, so I can go back and give myself a pat on the back for meditating. You can download something like that. They're great. But it's a 10-day challenge. Pick your chosen method of gratitude and do it for 10 days every day consistently at the same time. And then come back here and tell me what you thought. Tell me what you thought. I'm willing to bet that you're going to be glad you did it. If you didn't, that's okay. You can let me know that too. But try it. Take the 10-day challenge. Come back and tell us here in this group what it did for you. What were the benefits? What was the plus? What were the minuses? What were the challenges? Was it hard? Was it easy? Was it good? Was it bad? What method did you choose? Tell us all about it, because your experience will benefit anyone else who watches this video later, who maybe right now is listening to this going, I want to see what people said, and they're going to go down and look in the notes. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing if you do that. If you haven't checked out the Soul Podcast yet, that's my podcast, my show. If you like podcasts, I think you'll like it. It's a lot of these sorts of topics where we dive a little bit deeper. And it's very much focused on living a more joyful life. If you want to live a more joyful life and you enjoy podcasts, check out the Soul Podcast. I think you'll love it. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next video.